Everybody, thank you for being here. The St. Jude Radiothon was today on the broadcast version of the show, and this is the podcast version, which we're going to do some content as well. We appreciate you guys that listen to the podcast, and we hope you became a partner in Hope, and if you did, awesome. And if you're here just for the giggles, great. Or not always just giggles, just for the compelling content. I know everybody's got a little something here. I'll go first. That CEO that was shot in New York.
Oh, crazy.
Dude, and I've watched so many videos. First, let me just explain what happened. 6:45 a.m. yesterday morning, the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, was headed to an investor conference in New York City. He was one of the big speakers. A gunman approached him from behind, fired several shots. He was pronounced dead at a local hospital. Police say the gunman arrived at the location about 5 minutes before. However, that's been since. There have been multiple witnesses say this guy was waiting there for hours and hours. But I'm just going to read from the story from NBC News. Talking to NBC News, his wife, Paulette Thompson, said there have been some threats. They were tracking down what they called several good leads. That is from NBC News. Now, this is just going to be me talking about it because I got on the algorithm of it last night on TikTok. And first of all, the guy's in a full head and mask, and nobody thinks anything of it because sometimes people wear masks now because of COVID.
Yeah.
And
it was that kind of mask?
No, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. And it's cold at the same time in New York. It's
Yeah,
colder
yeah.
than here. So it's a combination of people already wear masks and it's cold, so you're just covering your face anyway. So you don't think anything of it. He's dressed in dark. He has a gray backpack on. And initially he arrived right when the guy arrived, so it was like he must have known exactly when he was there. But then, again, watching the eyewitness, some of the people were like, no, he was there. He was at a Starbucks. They have footage of him at a Starbucks. Called the bad guy. Was at the Starbucks and waited for hours, apparently. Walks up, I believe it was a .22 pistol, and what they call a suppressor is what we would call a silencer. So when you hear them talk about a suppressor, that's like in the movies when it's a silencer. So it did have that on it. The gun jammed while he was shooting, and you can see him unjam it. And shoot, because he shot him in the calf at first. This is why I don't think... And it was purpose. This is just me giving an opinion. This is why I don't think it was like a hired, super skilled hitman, is because of all the things that went wrong. What's up?
Is your phone ringing?
No.
Okay.
Just me chilling.
Was that just me? Is anybody's phone ringing?
I think you're interrupting Bobby's story.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was just a stray interruption. Hey, no problem.
No, I wanted you to check because in case it's an emergency.
No, it's all good here. No missed calls or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
Carry on, Bones.
So the reason that I don't feel that it was a hired hitman, especially one of high skill, because it could have been a hired person to kill, but he shot him in the calf at first. And if you're using a handgun and you shoot in, very rudimentary version of this is if you shoot and your hands are below your shoulders, it's going to shoot low. The guy didn't know what he was. He did hit him, but he didn't know what he was doing. So he shot him in the calf, unjammed the gun, shot him in the back. Took off, got on the e-bike, got out of there. As of right now, they still don't know who he is. So I think there was some history of using that weapon because you don't unjam a gun like that without knowing how to use it. But I don't think it was someone who was like $1 million hire a hitman to kill a CEO because of how. Because if that were the case, he'd have walked up, put it right beside his head, and killed him and walked off. Same thing, because he was 5 feet away from him. Like that's probably how that would have gone down.
Also, he probably wouldn't have gone to Starbucks beforehand. Like that seems so weird.
Sometimes you got to stay awake. You've been out there all night.
Like you're just hanging. Like you're gonna go to Starbucks when like you know there's gonna be video of you in the Starbucks, and they
He did have his mask on though, and what I would counter on that is he knew he was gonna be on video anyway everywhere because he's on video with the mask on and the gun. They got him like 4 or 5 different places, including Starbucks, and it looks like the same picture. He didn't take his mask down in Starbucks.
Do we know what he used to pay with at Starbucks yet?
They haven't said that.
Yeah,
That's why I wondered.
Did he buy a drink?
And it's like if he had his phone with him, he's cooked.
Well, they found a phone. They found a phone in the alleyway where he fled, and they do believe the phone belongs to the person, and they are trying to get a search warrant to go through the phone.
Which, if it wasn't a burner phone, again, not somebody who is hired to do this at a high level. Now, there are 100 theories as to what it could have been, and those are just people making up stuff. But a person that would have been hired to do this on a high level would have probably, one, had no electronic device on them at all, because there's no tracking. 2 would have walked up and just put it at his head and boom, and walked away, because he basically did the same thing, just 2 shots, but 7 to 10 to 12 feet away. Wouldn't have shot him in the calf. So all that is the non-emotional part of it, right? That is I cannot believe we just saw that happen. Broad daylight, got away on an e-biked there, walked, got back on an e-bike, had clothes you could change in and out of, had a gray backpack, nondescript clothing, all of that.
crazy.
Also fled into Central Park where they said there's not very many cameras, so that's probably why he went into Central Park.
Probably changed his clothes, like rode the bike in Central Park. Probably changed his clothes
Yeah.
and got out of there. Is this updated, Mike?
Yeah, this is
The masked
Fire
gunman who stalked and killed used ammunition with the words "deny, defend, and depose."
Well,
So
that
on the
part's
bullets,
so
I had not
crazy.
read that until right now. Did
Which
you know
is
that?
which is the title of a book written a few years ago talking about how health care uses these words to to avoid paying you out insurance things.
What are the words?
Deny, delay.
No, deny, defend, and depose.
There you go.
So also, this could also be what they call like a false flag. Somebody could be doing this to throw the scent off, where if they're doing this, someone goes, well, it must be because they're upset about insurance, when it's somebody going, well, if we do this. There's just so much right now that doesn't make me feel like that is real. That could be a red herring, as they
You
would
did say that the wife said that they had threats.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I would
but
think
all do-
that
they all
I
do.
would think that
All those
it's
insurance
CEOs. Yeah, I feel like
Get
that's
threats all the time?
I think that's a common thing.
Also,
Unfortunately,
People are so mean too. I was looking at comments, and every one of them was like, "I would give condolences, but my insurance wouldn't come through."
I
Like in the
mean-
comment section
Ugh.
of these.
Like, this is
But also,
some-
people were I was also irritated because they're like stealing the joke too from other people. So the first thing I was like, "You're a sad human. Why would you do this? Somebody just died." And secondly, I'm like, "You just stole that joke from another person's Instagram comment and used it. Now you're getting all the likes, loser." He was a guy who moved up through the company too. He wasn't one of these CEOs that was like hired, headhunted from another company. He's like somebody who started low level and rose up. I understand the trouble that, and there was some insider trading stuff that had started to circulate, and there was some AI stuff where it was like they were using a company. This is just going to be my memory, and I could be wrong about the numbers here, but they were using an AI company to say yes or no to things, and it was proven the AI company was like 90% wrong, and they were still using it anyway, even while knowing that. Like that's something that I read, but there's going to be so much misinformation out there now because people just want to get clicks that now it's like we'll just wait and see. But the problem is with wait and see is, okay, we're still waiting to see what happened with Jeffrey Epstein, and you know what?
he died,
That was from the inside.
or he was murdered.
That was for sure from the inside. The cops
Allegedly
take a break.
murdered.
The cops take a break. They turn the cameras off. So who knows what we know, except this guy. Also, you don't really know what your CEO is doing. Like, let's say you work at the company, and he was speaking at this conference, and it was known, but he was there way early. Like, you don't know. It wasn't like it was said, this guy's going to be here on this day, because it wasn't the day he was talking. There's just a lot of things that don't allow you to have the full scope of what's happening, because we only know what we're being told.
Because it's sort of like, okay, was this guy professional or not? Because it seems like some of the stuff he would have to know, or how he would have to know what he knew, would be really a little more professional-ish.
I would say that you can be in the know without being professional.
Okay.
And also have some skills.
Okay. So it's like not.
Or just be in the know and hire somebody who is like a drug addict that will do anything for drugs or money because they're in a bad place.
Oh.
And you know what they do? This is what happens with a lot of these, is that they will hire somebody. I say I'll just use that generically. They'll hire somebody with a situation like this, and they'll pay them, and they'll give them, and then they'll make sure they OD on the drugs afterwards, so there's no trail
my
back to
goodness.
the.
Well-
I'm not saying that's this one, but that does happen as well. Then you never know
I
because
feel
there's
like that really happens in real life or just
Yes.
on TV.
no. Oh, I don't know on TV that happens.
Oh.
In real life, that happens. It's a sucky story. And I couldn't
terrible.
believe it happened right there. And then I
terrible.
was thinking, what about the people that saw it happen? And I was like,
my
what if I
gosh.
saw it happen? What would I do?
Terrible.
Run.
Yeah. Shots fired, you run.
It's like, because people are like, why didn't someone just jump and take him down? And then I think, well, let me think about what I would do. I'd run.
You don't know who those people are.
Or
Like, you don't
where
know
it
who
was,
he is.
like, and exactly where it was coming from. Maybe you hear it, and then you're like, "Oh, is that?" If it's
Well,
a
I'm talking about people
silencer
that
too.
saw him.
Yeah, true.
They were right there. Like they saw it. Because again, it's 10 feet. So people that saw him. Silencer doesn't mean that it makes no noise.
right. But
Because
the
a bullet goes faster
what
than
did
the
you
speed
call
of
it? Oh,
sound.
suppressor. That's a better way to put it. Suppressor, because
TV gives you a wrong impression of silencers for the most part. So anyway, that story sucks. I feel terrible for the family. Because he's in such a high position, there are 1,000 different theories as to why or what or how.
Yeah. Do you think there's any, I was reading about him being investigated for the insider trading and whatever. Could it have been an inside job of they're worried he was going to squeal, like he was going to say, "Hey, this is what's happening." 'Cause
Sure.
how does this guy know that he's coming out that door that early in the morning? And
Well, if he waited for hours and hours, and the conference was in that hotel, right? There is bits of intel that would lead you to think that. But you're right. Yes, that could be one. But
I mean, yeah, I was just
I'm not attaching myself to a theory because I know nothing except what's being told here, and then I know what I don't know, and that's most of it. But that if I were like a CEO of a different insurance company today, I would have full security around me.
Yeah.
Big time.
And they said he bought bottled water and 2 bars from the Starbucks, and they did find a bottle of water in the alleyway where the gun was, or the phone. So they think that bottle of water is his. So they're going to test it for DNA.
Okay.
And
Buy
if they find
cash.
DNA on it, this guy was not a professional.
Right. And also, did he use Apple Pay
Yeah,
or
like
cash?
Probably cash, unless he's just so, really
That's what
smart.
that's what I want to know. Like how.
Yeah.
but we still-
And
we-
firearm experts thinks it is someone that has military or a lot of gun training because the way it jams and the way they are able to unjam it so
him
quick.
doing that was him having weapons training or a lot of.
Do you think the calf part, he just got nervous, or?
or
also,
the
it
gun
depe-
malfunction, you know.
He was definitely shooting a little low,
Okay.
and the first one didn't jam. The first one
Maybe
shot.
he was trying to really not.
Well, my friends that live in cities think I'm like, they think I'm like the biggest hillbilly, and I'm medium hillbilly and have decent gun experience, but never with handguns. And it's like I had a 410 and 12 gauge and 30-06 when I had a rifle, and so I know like general basic Arkansas gun, right? Hunting.
Hunting gun, yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you the difference in all the gauges of shotguns. I can tell you different kinds of birdshot, buckshot, slug. I can do all that. But they're hitting me up like I'm some gun expert to give analysis. I'm like, guys, I'm a hillbilly with guns. I don't know about. The only thing that I could tell you was he knew and he has used a weapon at how calm he unjammed the thing because it did jam. And a lot of times they jam with a silent with the suppressor because that's not common. So anyway, we'll move off because I'm wildly uneducated on it. I just want to talk about the story, and that sucks. And I hope they figure it out. That's it for me. You want to take a mid-roll real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do the mid-roll here. Boom. Amy, what do you have? What do you want to bring?
Well, a story I can't stop thinking about. It's not a new shooting. It's something that happened years back, but Dateline just released a podcast about it. And it's about this guy that shot 2 teenagers that broke into his home.
Okay, what's the problem?
And the problem is why I can't stop thinking about it is he's in jail for the rest of his life for murder,
So a couple questions. He didn't know them. They broke into his home.
right?
So I'm not confused on that. Were they running away from his home, like in his yard, and he
No,
shot
he's
them in
waiting
his
for
back?
them in the basement because I guess his home had been broken into leading up to that. And he had guns himself, and 2 guns were stolen. So he was an older man who was obviously scared for his life. And he set sort of like the way they presented it in court, were like he set this up as a trap. Like he made it seem like his home was empty. He wasn't there. He parked his truck down the road, and then he was waiting in the basement for whoever was breaking in. He didn't know who it was going to be. And when they came down, he didn't even wait to see their face. He just shot the first kid, and then his cousin, a girl, like was looking for him, and she was like waiting for him to come out. She starts to go down the stairs. He shoots her. Well, the problem is, I think maybe he had started to go a little bit, something was not right because he was like recording this.
People
but
had broken into his house before, though, and these people had broken into his house now,
correct.
right? Okay.
And so he was there. They pitched it as sort of, and don't quote me on the exact words, but premeditated in a sense because he was sitting and waiting, and he set a trap.
But again, what's the
But
trap?
they broke in.
Yeah, I don't
Yes, like they broke in. And these are, I think, good kids making a bad choice. And I felt bad for the family talking in the podcast and whatnot. But I just thought, man, I just keep thinking about if I was on the jury, what would I do?
Not be guilty. If it's what
yeah,
you
but
said,
he's in jail for the rest of his life.
and I wonder why. There had
I'm
to
like,
be some in that case. Like, I wonder what they got him for and why
that
they got
that
him.
audio got him. The fact that
video?
he had the recording. It wasn't a video, it was just an audio recording, and you hear him talking to himself beforehand, like, kind of going over like, I'm gonna get him, or talking about that. But I'm like, he's scared,
Yeah.
and maybe he was going a little crazy because of it. I would maybe too, but
I did.
Another part is he waited because he was scared. Apparently, his lawyer said after he did it, And you have it on clip. He went and hid in a closet because he didn't know, are more people coming, whatnot. He didn't report it till the next day. And that's always trouble if somebody's been killed and you don't report it immediately.
Yeah.
So anyway, I can't stop thinking about it.
And if not, it's crazy, but there must be something we're missing. Because if someone breaks into your house and I feel at all threatened, I'm shooting them, right? I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
If I feel threatened, I'm going to eliminate the
So it's the
threat.
castle doctrine.
Sure,
Like, you have
yes.
the right to protect your castle.
And the only time I've seen people get in trouble, because I didn't know this story, is if people are like still on your property and they're like running away and you still shoot them.
Right.
Even if they're on your property, like you can go to jail for that because they are now not a threat and they are eliminating themselves from being a threat.
Okay, so to that point, the second teen he ended up shooting, he did not need to shoot her multiple times, but he did.
But
and then like specifically like in the, but I mean, I think he was, I don't know if you're in that state of mind. I don't know how crazy you are. I just don't know that it's like murder in jail for the rest of your life. Like maybe you need some mental help. I think he was scared. And when you're in fear and then people are breaking, like they literally broke into the home. So I don't
That's
know.
the part too where I'm like, I would have been shooting. And you say, do you feel, after my house got broken into and I had been pistol whipped and had a couple, I was crazy at my house. Any noise. I had a gun right beside me. So it's like, he's crazy. You know what makes you crazy? Whenever you feel like you could die at any minute because you've had experiences that have led you to think that you could die at any minute because people have broken in or people have attacked you.
Yeah.
I just wonder what the jury, like why the jury, I'd need to see why.
It, like you could listen to it. I don't know. I mean, it's
The court heard Smith's whispers at the time of the shootings. I don't see them as human. I see them as vermin.
What does that mean?
I think you probably
Like a little
in my
animal?
mind I was thinking like you probably have to convince yourself like I've got to protect myself, and right now if I see them as human, like I'm not going to be able to protect my home, and I'm scared and I'm tired of living scared, so I'm going to take care of business.
Smith's decision earlier on Thanksgiving Day to move his vehicle from the driveway allowed prosecutors to present the idea that he wished to bait the intruders in the act of premeditation. But if you're just moving your car,
You're not baiting.
It's
But
not
even
like
if
it's not like you're piling up presents inside the
Right.
window, going, anybody that can get to these, you can have them.
And leave the door open.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, they had to break a window to get in, and
But I guess what they're saying baiting is by presenting the fact that you're not home, knowing like
yeah,
That's
but
still
like
not-
it's
that's
still,
not
baiting. That is
it-
baiting.
That's
not.
not baiting.
I mean, I get yes, he
Oh my
said
gosh.
it. Yes,
Just
okay.
because you
Crazy.
present that you're not home does
But you
not
don't-
mean you have the right to break into
No,
somebody's
no,
house
I
and
didn't
not
say they
get
had
shot.
the right, but he had the motive that he was going to kill these people
If they-
premeditated
if
because
they broke
he
into
set
his house.
a trap and said, I'm going to move my truck down the road
That's not a
to
trap.
bait the,
That's not a trap.
Like if you put
That's
your
like
car in the
leaving present-
garage,
that's
that's a
like-
trap.
yeah, that's not a
no,
trap.
in your garage is different.
Well,
That's
okay,
a way
park
for
it down the street. There's no
to
different.
make the appearance you're not home. That's saying I'm going to put Christmas presents in my car
It's not, 'cause
with
you can-
the windows
you
down and
cannot
then
be
wait
home.
for someone to shoot
It
them.
doesn't make it okay for somebody to break in even if you're not home.
I didn't say
'cause
it was
you're-
okay for them to break in, but to try to lead them to break in, to give them reason to break
That's
in.
not-
Yeah, because he's tired of living scared. Like yes, like however you want
That's
to
not
put
begging
it.
someone to break in by saying, I'm not home.
No.
That is extremely irrational.
It is setting the
In
stage
your opinion,
for like
that's why the jury found him guilty because he baited them. He came up with a plan to get them in his house so he could murder them.
Yeah,
But he
was
can't plan for them
scared.
to break into his house.
He
Like
only,
they had to
if
break
no
into
one
the
had
house.
broken into his house multiple times, it was multiple
That's
times.
crazy
If
to think
no
that's
one
baiting.
had done it ever before,
Yes.
then he wouldn't have been in
Correct.
fear. And when you're in survival mode, you
Correct.
fight, flight, freeze. He was fighting
Correct.
for his own safety, in my opinion.
Baiting would be, again, big flashing arrow.
Door wide open.
Like baiting is not something that would happen anyway because he could be gone.
I just wish
And if
he
he-
would have been driven. I mean, because these these kids, their poor decision to break in when they think it's an innocent thing. I mean, breaking in is not innocent, but right, if they think he's not home, they're going to go in, steal some money, steal some whatever, and probably run out.
But maybe kill him if they run into him,
Hmm.
right? Like,
Yeah, but I don't think these teens would have, but he didn't know that
right, but it
because
doesn't
You never
matter.
know that.
two of his guns were previously stolen. So in his mind, he's like, they could come back and use my own weapons against me.
and when someone is in a situation of their life is threatened, they may actually do something
Exactly.
that is threatening to yours, even if they did not plan to do that.
Right, which is where I'm just like, God, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like I have these like I'd say every 2 months, like these kids come through my neighborhood and they just go through car doors. And if they're unlocked, they steal stuff.
Right, yeah.
And I have thought myself, I'm like, I would love to see them doing that so I can call the cops and like tell them exactly where they are and they get busted. But like, I've even thought maybe I get some nails, pop their tires. When they go that way, I throw it all on the road. So when they have to come back down the road, their tires are popped. Then the cops
Is
can
this like
get them.
giving a kidney, though, where you're really not going to
No,
ever
I've
do it?
literally thought this, but I never know when they're going to do it.
He's thought it, Bobby. He's
I know, but him
thought
saying it is
No,
a
but he's
whole-
literally
Yeah.
thought about donating a kidney, too.
I know.
You can think all kinds of things.
Yeah, that sucks, Amy. And
Well, no, I mean, it's the whole story just was, it happened back in 2012, but for whatever reason, Dateline, I don't know, the podcast, and my heart breaks for the family of the teenagers. And it's just
is there a chance this guy gets released?
I have no
Because
idea.
again, depending on how small the town is, and there people sometimes running for office make things happen certain ways, so they win and lose case. There's just a lot happening, and if there's a light shined on it now from back in 2012, obviously I did not know all the facts other than what I'm reading. I'm reading it as we're doing the bit here, but I think not having your car in front of your house is not bait for someone to break in.
No chance.
But the audio was not in his favor. It's not good. And him shooting her multiple times, not good. But again, he wasn't in his right mind because he
If
had...
somebody's threatening you,
Correct.
you're never in your right mind.
Correct.
And that's crazy. Okay. Let's do a couple other things here.
So there's that.
We have our St. Jude Radiothon that we have been doing all morning. I do want to bring Jessica on. Is she on the phone? Or no?
No, I thought that was going to be for something else.
Oh, got it. We'll do it. We'll do it off the show. Yeah, no problem. So if you are listening to the show and you want to be a partner in Hope, we have one of the families we're going to talk to coming up in just a little bit. We want to do the Christmas gift drawing
Yes.
because we need to do this now so we know whose is who. So, yeah, Kevin can bring all the stuff in.
This is where we draw our gift cards?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to, yes. So, but we're going to bring him in and actually talk it out for a second because we only have like 7 or 8 minutes to do this. I'm thinking, so Macy's gave us all these gift cards. The good thing is we have to spend any of our own money, which we never spent a whole lot anyway because it was always like a $40 limit or something. But Macy's gave us these gift cards, and there's one from 10, and I have the key coming in. I will not draw. I will take whichever one is last. That way I have no influence on what bag is what bag.
Oh my
But I
goodness.
will have the key to know what's what. So can I have the key? You can set the bags right there. Thanks, Kevin. What sucks for Kevin is he was in it until we only had 8. Now he's eliminated because there's only 8. He was 9.
What's the key?
The key,
Oh,
like your
one
teacher
fell.
key, like all the answers.
Okay.
So there's one $10 gift card.
Oh my gosh.
Put them in the middle.
Yeah, one fell into the.
There's one $25 gift card. There's one $50. No, there's two $50 gift cards.
Boo.
There's two $75 gift cards. There's a 100, a 500, and a 1,000.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, 500 sounds awesome, but then you go, there's 1,000, and I'm just like,
I would
500 doesn't count.
playing the odds here.
Hey, did you get the
There's
one
a
that fell?
1,000 one and a $500 one. That's 2.
Not bad.
Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Versus 7. So you're looking at a 2 and 7. 500. That odds to get that one is awesome. That's. You want to get them? So first, I'll say this about Macy's: it's the best offer of the season. Take an extra 30% off top gifts, plus 15% off their best beauty brands. They have the perfect gifts this holiday season: Uggs, Crocs, a wall of water bottles, lots of great stocking stuffers. Let Macy's be your guide to gifting. Shop at Macy's.com. They do have everything. So, and maybe we don't even draw until tomorrow. We can just draw names now.
Oh.
But here's the thing: I'm not totally set on the most interesting way to do this. I've walked through every scenario in my head. I've walked through. We draw a name. Let's say I draw Amy's name, and then I pull a bag. And do I pull it immediately and go, I only got $10? I've done the thing where it's like, we don't say who we have, and we draw the bag, but we know how much money there is on the card.
There we go.
Because then the person does that. That's an interesting wrinkle. I've done the thing where we have the bag and nobody knows who has. I don't know. Amy, I'm gonna go to you. What do you think the best idea for the most drama? This is a bit. This is not real. This is not
You want
Christmas.
me to pick which one's going to be the most drama? Ask Lunchbox.
No, I'm not asking him because he's rageful and irrational. I'm asking you because
I don't think I'm
it's
irrational.
for the-
That's
it's for the most compelling part of the bit. Like, what's the best way to do this as a fun? Fun doesn't mean everybody has a good time, but for the listeners to go like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." What's the most suspenseful way to do this? Where you,
I think that you capitalize on 2 moments of suspense. The first moment being you find out right away what the dollar amount is for whatever person, and then it'll be funny to see what they end up getting. Like with that,
But what about knowing who the person is? Like what? in your version.
Yeah,
of
like
this,
if it's okay. So I guess how
because I have
I
in my
say it.
head, I have it drawn out exactly how I do it, but I want to hear your way
okay.
before you say that.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Like I say, I draw a lunchbox.
so you draw a
and
name first.
I draw the name first, and it's like, oh, I got a lunchbox, and then I draw my gift card, and I'm like, it's $10.
So you want to know that
And that's out there,
immediately.
yes. And then it'll be fun to find out later what I got for $10 for him, because it's like a double. Because otherwise, we're waiting, and then I'm going to give him the thing I got for $10, and it's going to be like, oh, you find both of those things out at the same time.
So I'm 50% with you on that. I
Okay.
think we draw the name, and I think we draw the. If you say, because it's just not interesting if I draw you and then I say I have $10 for you. 'Cause I don't even care to hear what you get it for $10.
Right.
I do.
It already lost the luster.
What?
The luster of that is gone.
Okay.
right?
As the guy that's full of rage and irrational, if you told me right away, I'd lose interest if you told me
Yeah.
$10 right away.
Where if
I
it's
wanna
like
be,
I draw somebody and it's
Yeah.
you, and we don't say what the gift card amount is.
Okay.
and then you're waiting until we do the day, and you're sitting there the
And
day
you don't
of
even,
going,
you don't
oh my
even know
gosh.
what, even when they open the
What if the
present.
person doesn't know, but the listeners do?
Maybe.
What if it's like
Hold on,
lunchbox?
hold on. Let me finish the explanation here.
Okay, sorry, I got excited.
I think what it is draw the name, get the gift. You draw the gift card, but you don't say how much it is. They open the gift without knowing how much the gift card was until
Okay.
after they open the gift. And then it's like, I had X amount of dollars.
Okay.
Morgan, you saying something?
Or the reverse could also be that we don't say who we get. We say what our gift card is. So
Yeah,
nobody
that-
knows.
I
That's
like
that's
that one.
I like
that's
that one
basically
too.
the same, but yes, it's that we're leaving one of the elements unknown.
So you
But
pick,
but if we draw the name and we have the name, we know like who's our friend or enemy already.
yeah.
Because what makes it interesting is if Lunchbox gets you or you get Lunchbox, because he's just gonna be pissed.
But the
Oh, that's a
power
good
is
point.
interesting. The power is interesting. Like,
But if you don't know who the power over who is, it doesn't matter.
yeah, but everyone's gonna want to hope that power is for a certain person.
That's a good point too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do because we have to go. We're gonna just draw names today only. We're not gonna draw bags.
Wait,
Okay.
but I won't be here tomorrow.
We'll draw names. It's a good point.
So we have to do
I
both?
will. No, we don't. You can just do yours.
Okay.
Today.
Just Morgan will do hers today.
Whoa.
So, do we have something for names?
We had a wheel.
Great. Do we have time? Yeah. I can put everybody's name on a. Yeah, bring it in. It's just we got to keep spinning it and pull names. It's fine with me. We have an interview in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Don't worry about that. Who are the names on the thing? Just read the names of the people participating, please.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you do. Amy.
They're all
Bobby.
right there. They're all
Yeah,
right
everyone
Yeah,
there.
just like
Yeah.
read them so I can write. I don't know.
Okay.
Yes,
It's
it's
on
the
the
same.
wheel.
Bobby.
Okay.
Amy.
It's nice for
Thank you,
everyone
Morgan.
except
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Bobby. Lunchbox thinks we're bringing in new characters for this.
Well, you
Yeah.
said there was someone was
Amy.
in, and then they weren't in.
Lunchbox.
Tiffany,
Okay, Lunchbox.
I think we
Eddie.
can spin.
Berthan,
Mike D.
Mike D, go ahead.
Abby.
Abby.
Rudolph.
Raymundo.
Rick Murray,
Ray.
Well, he said Kevin
Yep,
was in.
hold on.
Kevin's never been in.
Scuba.
Scoop. Done.
And Morgan.
Anna,
Just spin. It's right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 9 people.
should be 9, yeah.
We have 9 gift cards.
Becky, 9.
Okay.
Each of these.
Okay. So, Amy, you're gonna go first. Pick a number 1
Okay.
through 9.
9.
You have Scuba Steve.
Okay.
Lunchbox, pick a number.
4.
You have Amy. I'm gonna take a picture of my sheet though, by the way, so you guys don't think I'm changing anything.
Lunchbox.
Boom, got it. Okay, Lunchbox is Amy. Okay. Morgan,
Yeah.
pick a number.
2.
You have Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Eddie, if you need to know the numbers that are left,
I got it.
Go ahead.
Number 3.
that's me. Mike D.
What's left?
1, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, I'll take 1.
You have Abby. You've already picked Amy.
Yep, I got
Oh
Scuba.
man, I got Scuba and Ray. Man, I got
Hey,
a
Scuba,
chance to
pick
get
a
good
number.
one.
I'll pick Crazy 8.
8. You have Eddie.
Okay.
Crap.
Right.
Come on, Ray.
Raymundo.
Get me.
5.
You have Scuba.
No.
No, Scuba's already on the
Yeah,
list.
Amy has me.
I have him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So there's only 8 then.
Wait.
That should be 9.
Did you forget
Oh, Morgan.
me?
That's Morgan. That's Morgan. That's Morgan. You have Morgan. That's right. That's Morgan. And then there's
Crap.
2 left. Ray, have you picked a number? There's 2 left. There's 6 and 7. And then Abby, you'll pick.
I think Ray just picked.
Oh, you did pick? You have Morgan?
Wait, I have Ray. So Ray has me also?
Ray, do
Yeah.
you have more? Okay, so you guys have each other.
The odds
Cool.
of that happening were 10%.
So I have a pick and Abby has a pick. And Mike, you can look so you can see what the numbers are, so I'm not cheating or anything. Abby, you can pick number 6 or number 7.
7.
You have Mike D,
Bobby has me,
and I have Lunchbox.
and he's the most honest person in the world. So when he gets that 1,000, I'm getting all $1,000.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Yeah, y'all, you're gonna have to bring proof of receipt.
Yeah,
But here's another wrinkle
I
we'll talk
love
about.
it, dude.
Do you have to spend the whole card?
You
thought
don't?
we
I say
did.
no.
I think the option is you don't have to.
You don't have
But
to.
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. These are rules. We're inventing a new game.
Because if Lunchbox
But that's-
gets, I
yes.
have him. If I get the 1,000, so you're saying he could get me something for like $20 and keep
900.
980?
I'm thinking that could be a wrinkle.
Yeah.
Morgan, I need you to draw a bag,
Because you know he will.
and then just draw the bag and
He's gonna be like,
take it with you. Tell me the number you're. Don't open it. Just tell me the number you're picking.
9.
Okay. And so I'm the only one that knows how much that is. I don't want you to look in it. Just give it to Scuba Steve until you get back
Okay.
from your trip. But we know which one is yours. Your number is
9.
9.
9.
All right.
9.
All right. Let's do this. Is Fisher. I'm going to play this from the show this morning. Be a partner, hope if you can. Here's Fisher and his mom talking about Fisher went to St. Jude. St. Jude's awesome, and we spent today's show and tomorrow's show raising money for the hospital because that's what's up. And we'll just go to the interview now. Thanks.